So I met my first boyfriend when I was 16 and we separated when I was 29. I just didn't feel ready. Although I knew that I wanted to become a mother, I just didn't feel ready in that relationship. I don't know, the thought of it and whatever just didn't feel right. So it wasn't like it was an abusive relationship or anything, but it's just maybe deep down I knew it wasn't going to last or something. I don't know, but it just didn't feel right for me. So we separated when I was 29 and I started to date somebody else when I was 30, and then we separated when I was 32. And that was kind of when I had a bit of a crisis. I then went to Thailand alone and done some travels and things there. But then basically at 32, I decided that I was going to give up my job I was living in Amsterdam at this moment in time. So I'd gone from Scotland down to London, across to Amsterdam. I was working in consultancy beforehand and, but ended up in Amsterdam working in a bank there. Basically had a bit of a crisis at that moment in time and said, okay, I'm going to give up the job and I'm going to go travelling and I'm going to figure out because, basically not finding the partner and not finding, I can't, without the partner, can't have the children sort of type thing was my mindset. So they actually sent me on a kind of retreaty type thing. It was called a self in the bank. They were like, no, you can't possibly leave. This is like a moment, like, yeah. And I asked for a sabbatical or something to start with. And they're like, no, you need to go on this course. So they sent me kind of on this coaching retreat. It was called like self-leadership. And it was all about, basically if you can, to be able to lead others, you need to understand yourself. And in that retreat, it was all about finding your values and all of that type of stuff. And in that retreat was where I, like, at 32 years old, said, I want to be a mother. I really, really want to be a mother. And, now is my time. And that's when I really felt ready in my 20s. I didn't feel ready. I was building up my career, whatever. The relationship didn't feel right. And then suddenly at 32, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm ready. Okay, but I don't have a partner. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I went travelling around South America and ended up moving to Barcelona, Spain, where I live now then. And pretty much then for until I was 39, I didn't find the right person. Which I got really lucky at 39. My husband is amazing.